A Caribbean cruise turns into an absolute nightmare for a Phoenix couple. They were just trying to enjoy a vacation with family and friends when ICE agents suddenly burst into their room.
12 News journalist Jade Cunningham spoke with the couple about the ordeal that they experienced and what they say it should have never happened.
The intimidation was that's what it was about.
For Jose Martinez and wife Tamara Verhas, the past 48 hours have been emotional.
We weren't treated like you have no rights.
We felt violated.
Jarring, traumatizing.
This is clearly some sort of misunderstanding, and I was just in shock.
It was the last day of a 9-day Carnival cruise with friends and family.
We were both dead asleep.
When they say ICE agents stormed into their room.
Then we got this pounding of the door. It burst open. 3 men came in with flashlights in their faces, yelling commands, ordering me out of bed, and put me against the wall and handcuffed me.
They had called a female agent because they realized I wasn't dressed. And so she came in the room and she saw me filming and she jumped on top of me to try and get my phone. And I pushed her off once, and she jumped again and snatched it from my hand.
Martinez, who's a U.S. citizen and Coast Guard veteran, was taken from his wife and put in a holding cell in an unknown location off the boat.
Thankfully it was early, so I don't think a ton of people saw me, but, it was just...
It was still humiliating. He doesn't have a criminal record. He's never been arrested. He's never had handcuffs on.
Little was shared until finally.
This was all based off of just my first and last name. They said that they thought this was someone who had warrants for drug trafficking.
After almost 2 hours.
They took my fingerprints to help verify my identity, took my photo.
It was realized they had the wrong guy and brought Martinez back to the boat.
No apology, no, we're so sorry for the mistaken identity, no, at one point I remember hearing one of the agents saying that they didn't feel good about the way everything happened, and that they kind of knew beforehand that this was going to be a name mismatch, kind of mistaken identity, but they still proceeded to follow through. Yeah.
Now as they reflect,
I didn't necessarily think I wouldn't see him again, but it was just, I didn't know what he was going through.
They're overcome with emotion.
This is happening to people every day, but it's unfair that it's happening in this country at all. So.
Yeah, this is not the USA of 10 years ago, It's a different country.
Yeah, not the country I served for.
And anger over why this happened in the first place.
He has TSA pre-check. He's had an FBI background check because he has his concealed carry. He's a military veteran. They had his passport. They could have figured all this out without ever even speaking to us.
They could have vetted my information and used that rather than this, raiding our room the way they did.
Carnival Cruise Line tells us they're aware that U.S. Customs and Border Protection took a guest into custody but wouldn't go into further detail. ICE has yet to respond to our request for comment. You can find more on our website at 12news.com. In Phoenix, Jade Cunningham, 12 News.
All right, Jade, thank you.